everything is done. Everything mechanical and electrical are finished. So today's video I will be making the bed, which is going to be a double layer of 18 or 19 now. I think this is 18 millimeters, which is 3/4 of an inch MDF. So it's going to be a full sheet on the lower level, but the upper level I'm going to cut into lengths and route out for T-slots. As you can probably hear, it started to rain, and being a tin shed roof, I know it's going to get, we're going to get a lot more rain, harder rain. I'm going to video this in its entirety, and I'm going to have to put some backing music on, otherwise it'd be fairly silent. Because unfortunately, there's a lot of interference noise from time to time. So I hope you enjoy it, and well, let's get on with it. Well, finally the rain has stopped and I can now start to talk on the video. So what you've just seen me do is mark out this top section, and I have grooved out these to make T-slot ways. In the preceding video to this, I actually showed you me making the T-bolts and the clamping mechanism for this CNC router build. So that's what these are going to be. They're going to be spaced apart about with a 9mm gap here, which gives a bit of clearance for the bolt to go up through. So what I've done is marked out and drilled sort of a pretty well a clearance hole for the screw, and countersunk this in approximately 3mm. So the screw head ends up about a millimetre or so below the height of this material. Not really worried about the tool going in and hitting the head, because I use all carbide tools, and it's a 2.2 kilowatt spindle, so if I make a mistake in the depth and I go driving the tool into this top sheet, it'll just cut the head off the screw, you know, without damaging the actual rotor itself. So then it just means replacing these, which is easy job to do. So what I've done, I've marked out and pilot drilled and countersunk these. So now, to keep the bed flat, because I don't like, you know, putting a nice new bed on, then skimming over it, you know, with a fly cutter, taking a couple of millimetre off it. I don't see the point in that. So what I do is I get the bed flat first. In other words, the first half of the bed, the bottom sheet, get that flat, and then screw these on it. But having put a pilot hole through, and this is MDF, what sometimes happens is the back, has a bit of material here that if you screw down on it, it'll hold this up, raised up. So it could end up giving you an uneven, you know, sort of just uneven bed then. Sort of, we're only talking 0.5 mm here, and under normal circumstances, you know, I really wouldn't bother too much about it. But I want to do this job properly, so I'm turn all these over now and just get a bit of sandpaper and just lightly go over where these holes come through to make sure that there's no raised area. Okay. Now what I do in this case, this is a piece of 9mm, which is what, not far off 3/8 of an inch. They're just gauge blocks, so you pop them in here like this, bring that one up, actually it might be a little bit too wide, I'll just check. Actual fact, it's perfect. happy with that. So we just get it flush on here, pull it towards me, and pop a couple of screws in. Nearly there. Let's see if it works. Of course it does. Well, that is the way that I make a bed for a CNC router. And this being the MAXI CNC router, and it is now complete, finished. And I'm extremely happy with it. Everything has turned out to be absolutely perfect the way I designed it. I've had to redesign nothing at all, and to that end, within the next week, hopefully the drawings are going to be up on my Patron pages for those of you who are hanging out to build your own. And I do know a couple of people that have actually started building one and ordering the parts in. And the next video will be pretty well solely Mark III, where I will be tuning this right in and showing you a few little things in Mark III that I suppose you don't see in normal in other videos then, about adjusting the speed in which you know, it will home, setting up the home switches, setting up the soft limits, you know, in other words, telling the Mark III the size of the working area here and not to go outside that area, and all the good stuff like that. Motor tuning, so that'll all be in the next video. And I hope that you're going to pop along and have a look. So, if you've liked this video, please like and subscribe. And if you really like my videos and what I'm doing, you could become a patron to the channel. Patron information is underneath this video in the video description area, where you'll also find a discount code there for any of the Carveco program products. But again, if you would like to become a patron, that would help this channel out greatly, because it is very difficult in this climate to continue going. So, like I say, I would be grateful of any patron assistance whatsoever. So, thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you on the next video. Bye for now.